Welcome to Behind the Start, where we bake the entrepreneurial dream into reality. Join us as we showcase the freshest ingredients, the entrepreneurs of our time, from the birth of their startups to the rise to their success. We'll delve into the recipes for success and the challenges they faced along the way. Get ready to be inspired and learn how to bake your own entrepreneurial dreams.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the next episode of Behind the Start. So I want you to go ahead and get your aprons and preheat the oven because we're about to bake up some startup success. And to do it, we have a special guest with us is Bretton Key of Date Jar. Hey, Brett, thank you for joining us today.
Hey, Stephanie, how are you? And thank you for having me.
I'm good. So Date Jar, Bretton Key, tell us about who you are and this product called Date Jar.
All right, great. Well, my name is Bretton Key. I am a 40-year-old native of Virginia, and as well, I am the founder and owner of Date Jar. And essentially what Date Jar is, it's an interactive app and brand that's designed to remove all the excuses, all the barriers to you not having great dates and making date plans. That's essentially what we do.
Wow. Thank you. And tell us a little bit more about it. Like, when did the business start? How did you come up with this startup journey?
Well, that's a great question. This journey has been an interesting one, and it started a few years ago, basically at the start of COVID. COVID, unlike, just like yourself and with everyone here in the States and beyond, it shook my world. I was in danger of losing my job. Everything in my life at that time was a bit topsy-turvy. And I just wanted to figure out something that I can do using my skill set to create some kind of ownership and also take control of my destiny. In general, really the app and what I'm doing with this was very benign. Like, I didn't even think of this as a business. This was really more of a hobby just to see if I can actually do it. And at that time, I was able to learn a little bit of coding and learn some information. And I did a lot of the legwork, and boom, the app was born. And that's, in a nutshell, why or what started Date Jar. And we're going to definitely get into it more and more in this conversation.
Well, I got some questions because why dating? Like, you could have any other business out there. Like, tell us about it. Like, were you having dating issues and you were tied up with like Tinder, Black People Meet, Hinge? What, like, you could, like I said, you could have had a different story today. So why Date Jar? Like, tell us a little bit more about that.
Well, there's a few different reasons. So I was just coming out of a long-standing relationship and just getting reintroduced into the dating world. And again, I don't want to date myself. Again, I said I'm 40. So the dating world was not like how it used to be. One good thing that I've always prided myself on was in the dating world that I've always been good with like recommendations and just knowing what to do for a good time for dates. So really the general idea came from me writing down suggestions of places that I wanted to go, especially while we was on lockdown, that once the world had opened back up, I wanted to give a try. And I started adding one, then two, and then two turned to 4, 10, 20, 30, and it grew into a large number of suggestions that I literally had inside of a glass mason jar.
Oh,
So this jar was literally looking at me, and I was at that time, starting with using like your Tinders and your Hinges and Bumbles, those standard dating apps. And I was fortunate enough to actually, match with some great people. But one thing about all dating apps, which they're really more concerned with matching people, they're not really concerned with the sustainability and actually how to date. They're not like, they don't really tell you or teach you how to do so. So when I combined that glass jar with, me matching and re-getting introduced into the dating world, I found some personal success. So I ended up giving this jar or the suggestions to other friends and family, and it helped out their relationships tremendously. Like a lot of my friends who were married or dating someone, and it turned their love life into a 180. So my background is software development and process improvement. So again, may not look like it, but I'm a real nerd. I'm a whole geek.
It's nothing wrong with being a nerd.
Yeah, so I just wanted to combine those skill sets, and everything became a perfect storm of timing and intention. So, like I said, I literally took a glass jar and I just looked at it, and that's where the name came from, and that's actually where the idea and the app came from. And I'm very thankful and proud of it. It's been alive now for just over a year. Like literally, we just celebrated our anniversary on March 1st. And I'm just thankful right now that it's getting some push and it's getting some traction and it's helping people. So
that's awesome. Because, that is, the dating world. Oh, God, don't even get me started. You talking about 40. I'm about to date myself. What about the 50 and over club? What I'm about to be in the 50 and over club.
Oh,
so,
you look way too vibrant.
Oh, don't be making me blush on so my viewers can see this. But no, seriously, I understand the need for it because there's so many different apps out there, and there's so many different. Let me ask you a question because it's very interesting because we're both entrepreneurs.
Yes.
How does this app kind of help people like us? What's the intent? Who's your target audience? What was your intent?
Well, my target audience is married couples and mainly millennial married couples. It gets tough sometimes that you've been with someone for some time and you think that you've discovered everything or you've done everything. And usually that happens and it creates some like slowness or ruts in relationships. So this was something to speak to those people and especially to the men, because sometimes we get faulted with not being, imaginative or having intention when it comes to making date plans and so forth. So this was something to level the playing field and to make, guys a hero, for those moments of like, wow, you make this date. So that was the group. I have over 100 plus suggestions. And the way how it's listed to help out that exact group is there's no inputs. I'm not asking you for any information about what you like and dislike. This is the concept of shaking a jar, picking an item, and then if you like the item, you take it and then I help you make it happen.
That I was on mute, everybody. So let me repeat my question.
Yes.
Is it like local minded? If I was in California, can I use Date Jar? I gotta, I'm in California, say, and I have a special man. I want to get a creative date. Can I use it in California, or is it local based to just Virginia area?
That's a great question. The app as it stands is agnostic to wherever you're located here in the US. There are some direct suggestions that are focused with a few key businesses here in the area. So that was taken into consideration. But the good thing is that we're in a process literally this month of releasing the next iteration of it. And that next iteration takes everything to a whole nother level, meaning that it uses your GPS and it allows you to, wherever you're located, to even give you more focused suggestions that are based off of wherever you're located in the US. So yes, to answer your question, it does still currently, but we're actually making it so much better, very virtually, like literally like this month.
That's awesome. Give me an example. Like,
sure.
I get the app. I want to get the job. I want to, well, I don't know. The dating scene for me been like dry as a drought, right? But if it does happen, give me some suggestions of some date ideas that I can get from this jar, from your app.
Well, I like to tell you that the dates go from very mild to those that are very grown, if you're not for the faint of heart. So I have like
give me the faint of heart one.
So something simple as like roller skating could definitely be one of the options that you might get. You might even get something like indoor picnic, which is very nice. I think that's a really great style of date. But then if you want to get a little bit more riskier, you might get something like going into a dope boutique store, or you might even have a date in here. I have a skinny dipping date. And again, based on your level of relationship, first date, or your 100th date, it decides on what level, how you want to take it.
Okay, back up. Skinny dipping date. Explain that to our viewers, because I know they're home watching the same thing like me. Wait a minute. Did he just act like he didn't just say that? So give us a little bit about, I am very curious about that one.
Well, that date, for example, really is not about just being explicit or just, being in your birthday suit. That kind of date is just geared towards body positivity in whatever form that means for you. It's not designed where you really have to, like, let's say strip, butt naked, but it is designed if you do feel that free and comfortable. And this is just to kind of get over, some people have negative self-images of themselves and see things that are faults that their partner or whoever they're dating don't see. So this is one of those kind of dates to kind of shed off of those insecurities and to find a way to connect where, you're basically in your naked form. So dates, they're designed on many different levels. Some of them are designed to speak to your inner child. Some of them are designed for, again, for those who are liberated and trying to reintroduce themselves to the dating world. We have other dates, again, that are just designed for you to really just connect on really intimate levels and ways. So
that is
yeah.
awesome. I have a date idea for you. Because
Okay,
I always said, listen to this though. So you tell me though. So date idea was you and whoever you're dating give each other like $10, right?
Okay.
And you go into the thrift store. And it's because I'm a competitive person, like anything competition, I'm down for it. So you got each person has $10. You can add this in there for free. Each person gets $10 and you get like 30 minutes in the thrift store. The goal is to see who can come up with the best ideas for that date using the thrift store stuff. So
I love that. I'm actually thinking I will add something like that. And also, just to let you know, there is a feature in the app where the users or people can suggest to me dates, and I do add in those particular dates. So that's a really great option. We have a date also currently that is actually like one of the most popular ones is a chopped date. And what you do is you go take each other to the grocery store and you both pick up ingredients and they're random ingredients and see who can make something out of nothing out of those food items. So that is a really cool date because sometimes it can showcase your real culinary ability, or sometimes it could be a disaster, but it's all fun. And if you, yep, it could be.
But you know what? That's the thing about it is the beauty of it is to be able to laugh together, right? Yep. That's the thing is that you're taking the less so serious thing out of dating, right? Because if you can't laugh with that person, then I don't know, you might want to rethink that. But like you said, but I'm competitive. So, you kind of get that little competitive thing on this app, but I do like that ideas because it gives so much difference in traditional dating where it's always, oh, let's go get a drink.
Yep.
Or let's go out to eat. We've eaten enough in America, right? I don't want to, don't take, and be able to come up with some creative ideas. Like I used to tell people, here's another creative idea, right? It's like, you only get $25 to take somebody on a date. What would you do with $25? And you could be surprised.
Yes. Well, there's a lot you can do. I mean, I also did think of being budget friendly when it came to some of the suggestions. Again, when a lot of these ideas were born, this was, like I said, in the height of lockdown. So, people were being very creative if they wanted to somehow date or keep up with their love life in that time frame. So I accounted for those different things. So a lot of the options are designed to be budget friendly. I do have some items in there that might, could be considered pricey. For instance, a hot air balloon date might, cost a pretty penny, depending on where you're located.
Right.
But again, the goal of it is that you need to connect and build that connection with that person you hold dear in the way that works for you. I don't want to I'm not jamming anything or force feeding anybody. What I'm just really trying to do is to have something that you can do in a regular cadence, because my philosophy and our philosophy as a brand is that dating should be endless and exciting. It should never stop. It should never stop. You should never stop something that when you first got with someone or you're getting to know someone that is a huge helper, you should never stop it. It should go on as long, and it's just as important as hitting the gym. It's just as important as, getting your regular checkups. Right. You need this for that connection and acceptance as well. So
that's interesting that you say that, Brett, is because it reminds me of a movie I saw. Well, people have seen it, which is Love Jones.
Yes.
And in the movie, the guy was talking about, don't tell me if you're not married. I can't remember exactly what Isaiah Washington said in the movie. And Lorenz Tate says, nah, I don't think it's over. I think you just not something about the opportunities or something. I can't remember exactly what he said, but he was like, you just don't give up. You explore all opportunities first.
I know exactly what scene you're
He was
referring to.
saying that people don't fall in and out of love. It's just that they is exhausted. They haven't tapped in all possibilities. And so
Yes.
that seems like what your app is doing is like, hey, I'm going to give you some spicy ideas. Like you said, he has different levels and different layers to this that, you know, you kind of as the user can choose, you know, your level.
Yep.
How much does it cost? Like, how, you know, how much is it? Is it like a mobile? Can we find it on like Google Play or the App Store?
Yes, it is available right now on Google Play and the Apple App Store. The download itself is free, but if you find value in actually the day suggestions and making those things happen, there is a monthly subscription. And just to let you know, like I said, it's really worth it because we have so much cool stuff than just purely just those date suggestions. There is a reward system that while you're using the app, you build up points, and those points are able to be cashed in for discounts on certain dates, and as well other goodies and exclusive access to different venues and different places. Yeah, there's a lot to it, and again, like I said, it is available right now for download. So I recommend you give it a try. It's listed in the Play Store and the App Store as My Date Jar because it's ownership. We want you. This is your jar. This is for you. So we want you to take control and make sure your love life stays on track, or if you're starting that journey, to make sure it's set up for success.
So I saw on the website there's some cards or something.
Yes, there is. So I'm gonna give a analogy where this came from. Ironically, when I first launched this, the goal was to become eventually the end all be all for your dating, like almost like a concierge service. We wanted to be your end-to-end play guide, playbook for dating. So while launching the app, one thing kept coming up from just users and people in general that was like, yeah, there's a lot of people that don't know how to talk on dates. Like the art of talking, that communication aspect has faltered. And can you blame it? I mean, a lot of people now work from home or virtual. Not a lot of people get a chance to just talk to adults or talk to people in a regular cadence. So that game was devised to help out with that. And it's a 3-layer game where one layer is just general introspective questions based off of a theme. The other layer is trivia questions, and the trivia seems like they're very random, but they really are not. The concept of those trivia is for you to like look up the answers together, and once you go on the journey of like what the answer is, it spurs conversation because they're not just, again, random type questions. And then the last part about it is dares. And this is for the the faint of heart. And this is also designed, it's not going to get you in trouble, like arrested or anything crazy,
Right.
but the dares are just designed to just kind of get you off your shell and step off your comfort zone to open up for that good dialogue. So yes, we also have that as well, and that's part of the brand and what we're trying to do to help.
That is awesome. Thanks for sharing about Date Jar. Now let's get into you, the person.
Okay, great. Yes.
Let's just dive into you, the person. So you got this app. Talk about your little journey. I mean, you mentioned it before. Because the reason I say little journey is because your story hasn't your story hasn't been fully told yet, right?
Yes.
And so tell us, like, some feelings. I know, because I'm an entrepreneur myself. I've been an entrepreneur for over some decades now, and it's not easy, right? And so what made you say, what was that aha moment like? Was it that, you thought you were going to lose your job, or did you all have that vision to do something inside you, but you took COVID as an opportunity to do it?
Well, it's actually a bunch of all of that wrapped in one. I like how you frame that question and this thought. My journey so far has not been an easy one whatsoever. It was, again, spawned out of a lot of turmoil. My life was different. That's the best word I'm gonna use. To be honest, I just had not too long separated from my wife of at that time like 5 years, and Also, I have three beautiful, amazing kids, and they are like the apples of my eye and like my motivators to push and so forth. And to take it a step deeper, it was like I said, a perfect storm where I couldn't afford to lose my job. I have responsibilities. I have mouths to feed and, taking care of myself as well. But not even from a money standpoint, I looked at this like I wanted to have something to pass as a legacy. Like I wanted something to pass down to my kids. I envisioned being able to pass, businesses and get help to get good credit and
Right.
to do everything I can to set them up for success, and also to show them and those in my community that you can make it in new ways. There's not like one set way to make it or to feel like you are successful. You can find your own path and really to like lean into the things that excite you and things that set your soul on fire and things that are close to your heart. And this is something that was like very, very close to my heart. I've always been that kind of a person where I love seeing people together. I love people having good times, and I love overall, not just here in my local area here in Virginia, but I love just going out to different areas and just finding these great hidden gems and the if you know spots and doing things that are like, I can't believe I just did that kind of stuff. So it was a lot that made my journey to where it is now, and I've had some really great epiphanies, and it has changed me to the core of who I am as a person. I'm not the same person who I was when I first started this. I feel like I've improved in quite a few key areas because of this. Um, it made me feel, and even currently now, that the sky is the limit and not to think small. It's also helped me to look at how I can uplift others and bring others up as well. And as well, it's also just very fun. It's very exciting. It's like every day, every week is something new. So it's a real adventure. It's a real adventure. And something that I'm thankful that I'm on. And I've had some, low days or tough days in this. And I think so far it's been about almost a year and a half. I think I've done just about every day for the last at least year and a half, almost 2 years, something towards this business and
There you
making
go.
this work. This is where I knew that it wasn't just a fleeting idea, or this wasn't something like just as a hobby or something not to take lightly. This was something for me that, again, it's dear to my heart. This speaks to who I am as the core of who I am as a person and what I'm about, which is unity, togetherness, Black entrepreneurship, community, and as well uplifting the youth around me to, again, to be a model of what you can do with yourself if you apply yourself.
See, ladies, he just gave you his dating profile. No, I'm just joking. I'm just joking. But that is
Yes.
that is definitely passionate because I'm pretty sure I can see your passion, and I hope our viewers and those who are listening can see your passion as well. Because you're telling it from your perspective. Like you said, it's not easy. I'm full-time entrepreneur, so people laugh because I gave up a 9 to 5 to work 24 hours, basically days almost. And so it's a lot of risk takes, downside, loneliness. And I like what you said about community, because that's one of the reasons why I wanted to do and also co-founded Legit TV, because I wanted to build that community. I wanted to be a space where we can come together and we see each other, people that look like us, who represent us, who talk like us, who are dedicated like us. And that's the reasons why, we bring Legit TV to you, is because we know that it's a lonely road. It is really a lonely road. And you talk about adding dating to that, when you have time to do that, because I like that'd be a whole nother conversation.
Well,
Um,
well,
and I'm
I don't
sorry.
want to. I don't mean to cut you off, but
Okay.
that's actually an interesting concept. So before I go and give my statement on this, I want to give you your flowers too right now, because for me, even being a guest and doing some
Oh,
research on what you're trying to accomplish, I just want to commend you on
thank
not
you.
just saying it, but actually putting the actions behind it, and then again launching a network that really speaks to the climate of what we at right now.
Right.
Everyone right now is always talking about how easy it is to start a business and to like,
Mhm.
it's like the ABCs of like making $1 million like virtually overnight,
Yeah.
whatever endeavors. And it's not quite like that. Some people do get that opportunity, but not everybody gets that opportunity or chance. So I love the fact that you have a platform to talk for people like myself, and as well from your end that's trying to push everyone forward and give people a perspective and knowledge that is not as easy to attain as people think it is. Okay.
And
Uh,
that's so true. Thank you. Because I have a voice out here. Not only do I do this, a lot of people know that I write for several publications, and I've been having a voice for a while.
yeah,
And I just thought, it is, like you said, you had a vision. And for me, it was laying in bed, flipping through the channels. I'm like, I don't want to watch this. Like
yeah,
I feel like, and I'm not saying that it's a waste of time, because there's some good shows that I definitely do watch, like Godfather Harlem. I'm sorry, or the new Perry Mason. If you haven't checked out the new Perry Mason on HBO, I'm telling you, it's a hit.
yeah, I
But
seen it.
you
Yep.
see, yeah. So, but sometimes it's like I want to, you turn to the Food Network and you see all things food. You turn to HGTV, you see all things home improvement, home buying. And if you're a sports fanatic like most men, you got your ESPN. But what do you have for yourself that you're doing this startup journey? And so this is why we bring in stories like Brett and his date jar to hopefully inspire other people to get into this journey. So enough about that. So I want to really dive deep into some things. Okay. So I got some fun questions.
All right.
I'm going to put you on a hot seat today, but if you could have a superpower for 24 hours, what would it be and how would you use it?
My superpower would be to teleport. And how I would use it is that I would go to all the coolest destinations and places basically in a blink of an eye. And if I had the power as well to bring, someone or people with me, I would definitely do that as well. So in that 24 hours, I would have gotten across a bunch of different continents and different places. So that would be my superpower and why.
And that's mine too, because you know what? I can't wait till we get to like Star Trek. I'm waiting to say, beam me up, Scotty, right? I am waiting to do that because today I'll be in Dubai.
Mm-hmm.
Tomorrow I will be in Italy. I mean, I just can't wait. I know somebody's out there, all these tech savvy people. I can't wait to be with my own Captain Kirk and I can be beamed all over this place. So yes, definitely teleportation is one of my, if I had to pick a superpower.
The government already got it. They just ain't gonna release it
Oh
yet. You
yeah.
already
I
know
mean,
somebody's using it
it's
somewhere.
probably in
Somebody,
Area 52 or Area 51, whatever it's called.
Area 55, I heard, is what it's
Right.
called.
Yeah, they probably took it from alien technology, right? So
Yeah,
let me
yeah.
ask another question. So
Yeah.
I have my little notes. Okay. 3 words to discuss your startup journey. If you could use 3 words to describe your startup journey, what would the 3 words be?
That's great. Let's
Mhm.
see, 3 words.
Mhm.
The first word would be exciting,
Okay.
like really exciting. Uh, the second word would be longevity. I recognize I wasn't in this for the short run. This was not like a get rich quick or something to that effect. I'm in it for the long haul. And then the third word would be innovative. And I want to use the word innovative because, um, hey, this isn't like I'm reinventing the wheel, but I'm just taking an older concept or a simple idea and just enhancing it in a digital way and expanding upon something that's kind of an analog way of thinking. So those would be my 3 words.
And so wrapping this up, so this part of the segment. So how does Brett celebrate his wins? Because I know you got some wins and you ain't talking about your wins. I know you probably got some. To me, anytime, because I know the cost, I know the workaround putting any app on the Google App Store or Google Play, because you have to pay an annual fee to do that and all that thing. So maybe share one win that you've had over the year and a half, and how do you celebrate your wins?
Wow. You know what? That's a really great question. And that's actually something that I'm still recognizing how to do, if I'm being honest. So one good win, a great win is that right now we're at over 700 plus users. And that is a huge blessing because, I don't have like some major marketing team. This is like organic growth through just the grace of God, the right time to, connecting with the right people, working with events and all kinds of ways to get that growth. And it's still going in an upward trend. So that is a huge win for me because people may not realize how hard it is to cut through the fog to even be seen or to even be easily downloadable. So that's a big win, one. And I want to also, as a slash on that, another win was getting some grant funding through Capital One through a program called 1863 Ventures.
Oh, yeah.
That was a huge help and also just helped me overall in just my business acumen and just overall what I'm trying to accomplish.
Right.
And usually how I celebrate my wins right now is just rest and self-care.
Yeah.
I'm committed to a lot of different things. I honestly still have a day job where I work in IT, and as well I'm part of the U.S. Air Force Reserves. I'm a proud member, 15 plus years of service.
Thank you for your service.
Thank you. And again, I have 3 beautiful kids that keep me on my toes. And as well, I'm part of a foundation to uplift our community. I'm on the board of the Virginia chapter of Blacks in Technology.
Oh, wow.
As well. So what I celebrate usually is giving back wherever I can. I'm always quick to share knowledge, and I'm excited to help people fan the flames of their dreams and so forth. So my celebration is really trying to help people, and then as well for myself, just taking that downtime when necessary. Like this weekend coming up, I've been out of the country working really hard with a lot of different things, and this weekend I'm just going to rest. I'm going to do some self-love and self-care. And that's how I celebrate.
That's, that's the self-care part of it, because a lot of people who know me, who are watching this, know that you'll find me in the Bahamas every couple of months. It's just something about the sun, the sand, and the water that does it for me. And I can relax. It's just staring into that ocean. So you have to, those who are watching or listening, you have to find that place for you. You know what I mean? Because it's going to be times where, I have clients who have, Brett, who've come to me and told me like they were in the shower crying last night because they just wanted to give up, and they believe in themselves, but everything is going against them, whether it's startup capital, fund, whatever. So you have to make sure that you find that place. Whether it's, look, if you got to go get counseling to counsel you through this, because, in these major corporations, they call a performance coach who sits there and do that. Like if you watch Billions, that's a show that would tell you that you need somebody that you can vent to say, look, I didn't make my mark today. I didn't make my sales goals. Get that needed self-care, because that's definitely important on this journey. But let me backtrack a little bit, because you mentioned fatherhood, right?
Yes.
I have the blessing that my kids are grown, right? So I don't have to have that juggle thing. I paid my dues. And so, my kids are in their 20s. Yes. I know I don't look like I have 20, like almost a 30-year-old, but I do. But how do you juggle that? Because I have a lot of times people say, I want to start a business, but I have daycare. I have this, I have the kids in this program. As a father, tell me how I know that you mentioned that you're divorced and you co-parenting. And so you don't have them full time, but nonetheless, you have your kids. So how do you juggle that and still trying to do your, there's it times when you say, you know what, I got to put this computer down and spend time with them. So tell us, enlighten us on that.
Well, I have a lot of different ways on how I account for my time. I'm an organization freak. So for me, what works for me is I use a lot of dry erase boards, planners, and from my phone, I'm huge on like the Google Calendar. So between all those things together is how I organize my time. And what I do is, and I have a big, huge, like dry erase calendar, and I like to write on there more of my personal things. And these are things like, swim competitions for my son, or like my, daughter's doing cheerleading, or my other daughter, she's doing, volleyball or whatever's going on with them. I try my best to account for that on that particular calendar. people's birthdays, things that I'm a part of, or that it goes outside of work. And then I keep, from a digital standpoint, the actual business and work calendar together. So what I do is I break everything down to task, and what my measure of a successful day or a good day is accomplishing as much as I can on that task list.
Mm-hmm.
My task is for always first, family first. I don't work in a way where I want to shortchange, if possible, my kids, because they don't deserve that. So I always put them first.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just thankful right now that I do have a great support system, so that when things do happen, or for instance, duty calls or whatever, I'm able to balance it all and make it work. And then as well, I'm also very clear with them on why I'm doing this. My kids as well have been some of the best cheerleaders for me in this process, and really I couldn't do it without them. And again, a few friends and family who have just been my backbone in this process, when it just felt like it was very bleak or hard to manage. So the best way I can also put this is that they help keep me honest. They're the kind of people where, like, they're 7, 13, and 14.
Oh,
they are vocal, very vocal about their time and what they need
right.
from me and how they want me to be or how they want me to show up for them. So if I do my part, and again, I'm communicating with them why I'm doing this, it just works out.
That's awesome. Again, I'm excited to see where Date Jar goes. Here at Legit TV, we always tell our guests that we're rooting for you all. I can't wait to one day be like, hey, I had him on my show, right? Now he's over there in Silicon Valley. Is that where people go with tech, right? Okay.
Yeah, you got it.
I'm just trying to make sure, I'll be like, Amazon want to pick you up or something like that. Now you become a mainstream. And I think it's so needed, that because the divorce rate that is so high, and I'm a divorcee. It's been 15, 16 years since I've been divorced. And I too understand that the divorce rate, so anything that anybody can do to enhance that, to keep up that, because we want people to be in successful relationships and things like that. So thank you for creating Date Jar. I can't wait to share it with our listeners and our viewers. As we wrap up, and again, you have been a pleasure. Enjoy talking to you. So where can people find you? Can you give us your social media handles, your website? Yes. Where can people find Brett and Key and the Date Jar?
Well, it's easy to find me. My website and the handles are My Date Jar. All the main food groups, socials, I'm on there. And if you personally want to connect with me, my personal handle is Key, Key, .to success. So Key to Success basically is my handle on all of socials and so forth. So I'm a phone call, email, DM, pigeon with a note away. I'm really easy and accessible, and I'm hoping that you all check us out, especially from the business, on what we're trying to accomplish, because like I said, the greater goal of this is to help people connect and stay together, or as well, even if you aren't with someone, date yourself and take yourself and treat yourself well. Or hang out with your friends or whatever, that people who you care about. This is designed to, again, remove those excuses. Those are barriers where you're saying you don't know what to do or where to go. I got that covered for you. And in a few seconds or a few clicks, basically, I'm going to give you something that's worth something to make some moves. So that's what I'm about, and that's how you can find me.
That's awesome about you said about dating yourself, because a lot of times we don't do that. And so I tell my people I know that are single all the time, go do what you want to do. Do what you need to do for yourself. Like tonight, as soon as I get off this, I'm going to get dressed. I'm going to Baltimore, and I am going to go see Monica, Jagged Edge, Stokely, and Next.
Oh, that's nice.
Oh, yes. So I do stuff like that for myself, whether I have a partner or not. Especially, like I said, it's all part of self-care, right? And so thank you for giving us some wisdom and insight to that. And before you leave us, what advice would you give to somebody that is watching this now and says, look, Brett is doing it. I had a similar idea and I don't know where to begin. So what advice will you give our listeners and viewers on that?
Okay, great. Well, I guess my closing thoughts or my advice would be that you are enough and you can do it. And there's room for everyone. And what I mean by this is that even if you feel like you're doing something that somebody else is doing, there is space for you to do what you feel. Chase your purpose in your journey, not the dollar. The money is just a byproduct. And then as well, if you are going to do it, just start and recognize that everything does not have to be perfect and you may not have to have all the answers. But if you're serious about this and you're in it for the right reasons, everything that you need will be given to you at the time that's necessary, and enjoy that journey and see where it takes you. And I promise you, on the other side of it, you'll be glad you did it.
Yes, on the other side. That's what we look forward to. Again, Brett, it's been an honor and a privilege to have you on our show.
Thank you.
Take what you need from this. Hopefully it will feed your soul. You have witnessed another successful bake up, as I call it. Again, Brett, thank you. We're rooting for you. Let's stay in touch. We would like to bring you back on.
Okay.
And happy anniversary to your business. I know it's a little bit past it, but like you said, let's just build this community. Let's stay together. Whatever we can do at Legit TV to help you in your business, we're here for that. So
well, I have some events coming up and so forth. I actually have some in the DMV area coming up soon. So
okay.
Definitely we're going to reach out to you to see if you want to be the guest of honor, and we'll take good care of you. And as well, let me know, your address and information. I'm going to send you some cards and some other swag.
The cards. And we want to invite you to we're going to be, if you're in the DMV area in May, we're going to be doing Legit TV live and networking event. I will definitely send that to you. We invite anybody that is watching to come out, because we're going to be doing a live taping, and here's an opportunity to meet some of the guests that have been on the show. You can talk directly to them. So thank you again. And it was a pleasure. And I look forward to speaking with you soon. You all have witnessed another episode of Behind the Start with your host, Stephanie Magnus. That's me. And now you can put away those aprons and turn off that oven, because you just got served a scrumptious story from Britton Key of Date Jar. So till next time, be blessed, and we are rooting for you.
That's a wrap on another delicious episode of Behind the Start. We hope you enjoy this taste of the entrepreneurial world and feel inspired to bake your own recipe for success. Keep the oven mitts handy, and remember, the proof is in the pudding. Until next time, happy baking.